Chosen one, stop whatever you are doing right now and lock your attention on my voice. Do not scroll past this message. I am not asking you to listen, I am warning you. The algorithm did not bring you here today. Heaven intercepted your feed because you are currently standing at a very dangerous intersection, and the enemy has set a trap designed specifically to make you open your mouth. You have been feeling an overwhelming pressure lately, a deep frustration building up inside your chest. People have misunderstood your intentions, questioned your path, and judged the season you are in. Every fiber of your being wants to speak up. You want to explain yourself, you want to clear your name, and you want to tell them exactly what God is doing in your life. But you must hear this right now. That intense desire to defend yourself is not righteous indignation. It is a setup. The enemy cannot stop. The massive breakthrough heaven is forming in your life right now, so he is trying to trick you into aborting it yourself. He is using people you care about, and even people who annoy you, to provoke you into speaking prematurely. If your mind is telling you to scroll away right now, recognize the tactic immediately. The enemy always tries to rush you or distract you when you are about to be handed the exact strategy to defeat him. Do not let your attention wander. Stay anchored to this truth, because what is at stake here is the harvest you have been praying for over the last 5 years. You are a generational cycle breaker, and heaven requires you to move differently than the rest of the world. The people around you do not have the spiritual clearance to understand the blueprint God handed you. When you try to explain a divine mandate to those operating on a physical frequency, you do not gain their understanding. You only drain your own spirit and give the darkness access to your plans. God is hiding your next move in the dark for a reason. A seed must remain buried in utter silence before it can break through the soil. If you dig it up just to show everyone it is growing, you will kill the root. Your silence right now is the soil where your miracle is being fertilized. But before I reveal the specific trap that was set for you this week, you need to understand why your quietness terrifies the unseen realm so much. The enemy relies on your words to build his weapons against you. There is a profound reason why heaven commanded you to shut your mouth completely in this season, and it has everything to do with the spiritual battles happening in the room with you right now. The world has taught you that silence is weakness. They told you that if you do not defend yourself, people will assume you are guilty, and that speaking up is how you take your power back. But let me reframe your reality right now, because you have been reading the signs backwards. In the unseen realm, your silence is not a surrender or a sign of defeat. Silence is the most terrifying form of spiritual warfare you can wage against the darkness, because a quiet spirit is impossible to manipulate. When you speak out of anger or frustration, you are giving the enemy a direct map to your mind. The forces working against you cannot read your thoughts, they can only observe your physical reactions. They send counterfeits and highly toxic situations into your daily life, specifically to gather intelligence on your emotional triggers. Every single time you try to explain yourself to someone who is committed to misunderstanding you, you are handing your spiritual ammunition directly to the opposing side. Notice your breathing right now. Take a deep, slow breath and let your shoulders drop completely as you listen to my voice. That physical release you just felt in your body is the very first layer of divine armor locking into place. The tension in your neck and the heavy pressure sitting on your chest are not just normal physical fatigue. They are the exact symptoms of a chosen spirit that has been fighting exhausting battles it was never assigned to fight. You have spent your entire life acting as the emotional sponge for your family and your peers. You took on their heavy burdens, you tried to fix their deeply rooted problems, and you exhausted yourself trying to heal people who secretly did not want to be healed. That survival identity made you feel like you constantly need to mediate and explain everything just to keep the peace in the room. But heaven is telling you today that you are not just a peacemaker anymore. You are a watchman, and a true watchman only speaks when the master gives the final command. The overwhelming urge you feel to react and clear your name right now is simply an old generational pattern trying to drag you backward. The darkness knows that if you stay perfectly still, the divine alignment happening in your life will accelerate far beyond their control. They are panicking in the unseen realm because your quiet obedience is shifting the atmosphere in ways you cannot even measure yet. Every moment you refuse to take the bait, a generational curse loses its grip on your bloodline forever. I am going to show you a hidden mechanism behind this overwhelming urge to speak in just a moment. It is a profound reality that science is only now beginning to admit, and it will permanently change how you view your own reactions. But first, you must completely accept that the battle for your silence is taking place on multiple intersecting levels. The enemy does not just attack your external circumstances, he directly targets the physical vessel, trying to process them. Now, I want to pause and hold something in front of you before we continue deeper into this revelation. Over the past few years, something has been discovered in research laboratories that most people who care about these spiritual truths have never been told about. A small group of neuroscientists, led by a doctor in New York, who has spent 20 years studying this, found something profound about the way the human brain is designed. It perfectly explains something most spiritually sensitive people have felt daily, but have never been able to name. I am going to tell you exactly what this team found and how it works later in this message. But right now, I need you to hold this one specific question in your spirit as we move forward. What if the reason your mind feels foggy and easily provoked is not a lack of spiritual discipline, but a specific cognitive capacity that was stolen from you at the neural level? When you look at the greatest warriors of light in Scripture, their most defining victories were not won with shouting. When the ultimate Savior stood before his earthly accusers facing the most intense mockery and false allegations, he did not utter a single word to defend himself. He knew that speaking to a counterfeit authority would only validate their false power. Your silence is modeled after the highest divine authority. When you close your mouth in the face of deep provocation, you are stepping into a sacred lineage of prophets and kings who understood that heaven fights hardest for those who refuse to fight for themselves. There is a profound spiritual physics to your deliberate non-reaction. The enemy operates on a very low and frantic frequency of chaos, desperation, and noise. When they send people to attack your character or test your boundaries, they fully expect you to match their chaotic energy by arguing back. But when you maintain your silence, you remain anchored in a high state of spiritual elevation. That profound stillness acts like a solid wall of divine protection, repelling their low vibrations and forcing their own toxic energy to bounce right back to them. There is a reason why your tolerance for the drama of other people has completely vanished recently. You used to have the patience to sit and listen to endless complaining, and you used to bend over backwards to make everyone comfortable at your own expense. Now you find yourself physically repulsed by petty arguments and fake conversations. It is not burnout, and you are not becoming a cold or bitter person. I will show you what it actually is in the next few minutes, but you must realize first that your spirit is actively rejecting frequencies that no longer match your divine assignment. The forces of darkness are incredibly limited in their power over a chosen one. They are not all-knowing, and they absolutely cannot read your mind. They can only guess your next move by observing your emotional outbursts and listening to the words you speak in moments of weakness. When you complain about your struggles or try to justify your decisions to people who do not support you, you are giving the enemy the exact blueprint of your vulnerabilities. By keeping your mouth completely shut, you leave them entirely in the dark, panicked and confused about what God is doing with your life. Your very presence is designed to shift the atmosphere, even when you do not say a single word. Have you noticed how a room sometimes goes perfectly quiet when you walk in, or how certain people become highly uncomfortable around you for no logical reason at all? That is the heavy weight of your anointing disrupting their hidden agendas. You do not need to announce your authority, because your spirit speaks volumes before you even clear your throat. The enemy wants you to use earthly words because he knows your silent spiritual presence is far more dangerous to his collapsing kingdom. Listen carefully, because this next part is going to reach places inside you that you have never been able to put into words. The individuals who are trying to provoke you right now are not acting on their own accord. They are being used as pawns in a much larger spiritual chess match, deployed specifically to pull you out of your season of hidden preparation. You must understand that responding to them does not fix the situation, it only delays your promised elevation. God is calling you to a level of discipline that requires absolute mastery over your tongue. This is not just about avoiding conflict, it is about preserving the sacred energy required for your impending breakthrough. The miracles that are forming in your life right now are highly sensitive to the environment around them. If you speak doubt, anger, or frustration into the atmosphere, you risk contaminating the very blessing heaven is trying to deliver. Your absolute silence is the pure, uncontaminated vessel that will carry your massive destiny into reality. The enemy is incredibly strategic when he realizes he cannot touch the heavy anointing on your life. He knows he cannot block the massive door God is opening for you, so he changes his tactic entirely. Instead of attacking the blessing directly, he attacks the vessel meant to receive it. He sends counterfeits into your inner circle, people who look like allies and speak like friends, but who carry a hidden assignment to derail your destiny. These individuals are strategically placed to drain your spirit and provoke your flesh into a premature reaction. They will intentionally misunderstand you, subtly disrespect your boundaries, and twist your words to make you look like the villain. Their entire goal is to drag you down into a messy, earthly conflict so you lose your high spiritual footing. If they can make you angry enough to defend yourself, they win. They want you to spend your precious energy explaining your pure heart to minds that are committed to misunderstanding you. But you must recognize that this is a calculated trap to steal your focus away from what heaven is building in the background. Someone close to you has been waiting for your reaction. They are monitoring your silence right now, checking to see if their manipulation has worked. Do not give them what they want. Keep watching, because the response from heaven to them is already in motion. The people who are trying to tear down your character in secret do not realize that heaven is documenting every single word they speak against you. Your absolute silence is making them highly uncomfortable because they fully expected you to break, and your unshakable peace is terrifying them. You must remember that you do not need to defend yourself because the Most High has already taken on your case. When you choose to remain silent in the face of false accusations and unfair treatment, you are physically stepping out of the way so God can handle your enemies directly. The courts of heaven have already issued a decree concerning your situation, and divine vindication is always much louder than anything you could ever say in your own defense. The moment you close your mouth, the angels are dispatched to clear your name in rooms you have not even entered yet. If you try to take matters into your own hands and clear your name manually, you are stepping out of the fortress of grace and walking unprotected onto the battlefield. You are essentially telling heaven that you do not trust divine timing and that you would rather fight with earthly weapons. God is asking you to surrender your need to be right and completely release your need to be understood by people who are not going where you are going. Your vindication will not come from a loud argument. It will come from the undeniable elevation God is about to perform in your life. This is exactly why you must remain entirely focused and fully protected in this critical window. If you walk away before the ceiling at the end of this message, you walk back into the battlefield without the very shield heaven called you here to receive. The enemy is desperately hoping you will lose patience and shut this message off before the final decree is spoken over your life. He knows that once this spiritual seal is locked into your identity, his counterfeits will lose all their remaining access to your energy field. What feels like an intense and coordinated attack against your peace right now is actually the greatest confirmation you could ever ask for. The darkness only fights this hard when it knows your breakthrough is completely inevitable. They are throwing everything they have at you because you are standing on the very edge of your promised land. Keep your mouth completely shut, maintain your holy posture, and watch how heaven fights for the chosen one who refuses to compromise their frequency. Chosen one, as we move deeper into this revelation, I need your absolute focus. The distraction you feel in the room right now is not accidental. The enemy is pulling at your attention because the spiritual blinders are about to be permanently removed from your eyes. You have survived the wilderness, you have endured the isolation, and you have carried a profound heaviness that nobody else could understand. Now you are about to understand exactly what you have been protecting this entire time. The trap that was set for you this week was a desperate last-minute attempt to sabotage a massive divine relocation. The people trying to provoke you are not the real enemy. They are simply unaware instruments being used to test your spiritual maturity. If you had opened your mouth and reacted to their chaos, you would have aborted the miracle that is currently standing right at your front door. You are not just protecting your own peace. You are protecting a generational shift that is designed to permanently alter the financial and spiritual trajectory of your entire bloodline. Here is the truth no one wants to say out loud: the exact reason hell is panicking over your quietness. The enemy already knows that your silent obedience is the final key required to unlock your accelerated fulfillment. He knows that the moment you master your tongue, you become completely untouchable. They sent chaos to see if you still belong to the old survival identity, the version of you that needed to please people and explain everything. By staying silent, you just proved to the courts of heaven that you are fully prepared to carry the weight of the coming glory. But heaven knows how incredibly difficult it has been for you to hold this posture. It takes a massive amount of energy to absorb false accusations and simply let them fall to the ground without defending yourself. You have likely asked God why it physically hurts your chest and exhausts your body to maintain this level of high-frequency restraint. Why does the urge to react feel so biologically overpowering, even when your spirit knows you should remain entirely still? There is something I said near the beginning of this message that I want to return to right now. I asked you to hold a specific question about what happens when the physical brain operates the way it was originally designed to operate. I told you there was something discovered in research laboratories that I was going to come back to, and I want to tell you now why I waited until this exact moment to bring it forward. Because what they found is not just random information. What they found is a tangible solution. A solution only becomes useful once you understand the full shape of the problem it solves. You now understand the shape of your spiritual warfare, and you know why the enemy wants you to break your silence. Your inability to ignore the noise is not a character flaw, and it is not a lack of faith. It is a direct result of how modern environments and constant stress have actively suppressed your natural cognitive defense systems. We are going to look exactly at how to restore that physical receiver right now so your spirit can finally rest. You understand what the enemy uses to provoke you, but you must understand why your physical receiver is so easily knocked off balance by the storm. Your inability to ignore the noise and your sudden urge to defend yourself is not a spiritual failure. It is a neurological reality. The modern world has intentionally trained your mind to stay in a chaotic and fragmented state, making it incredibly difficult to hold the high frequency of holy silence. When your brain is running on exhaustion, the enemy can easily pull you into a devastating earthly argument. In 1981, a profound discovery was made in a research laboratory that won the Nobel Prize. Dr. Roger Sperry proved that the human brain operates with two distinct hemispheres, and they were originally designed to function in perfect synchronization. When your brain is fully synchronized, it produces a state of whole brain activation where earthly chaos cannot penetrate. Research shows that 98% of children operate in this genius-level state, but fewer than 1 in 1,000 adults maintain it because modern stress systematically disables it. A woman from California described what this neurological disconnection felt like in her own life. She had tried endless hours of meditation, intense prayer, and every spiritual practice available, but the heavy fog and the urge to react to toxic people never left her. After 10 days of repairing her physical receiver, she said the constant pressure simply evaporated. An invisible channel that had been blocked by stress was suddenly open, allowing her to stand perfectly still in the face of absolute chaos. A man from Texas experienced something remarkably similar. He had spent years carrying the heavy emotional burdens of his family, but he found himself completely drained and unable to focus when he prayed. 2 weeks after addressing this exact neurological disconnect, he woke up and realized his mind was running on full capacity again. The deep mental fog that had clouded his judgment was completely gone, and he could finally hear the quiet voice of divine instruction without distraction. That is because of what the team I am about to describe spent years building. A team of neuroscientists led by Dr. Daniel Barone in New York took over an hour of clinical neural sync technology and compressed it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. You simply use headphones and close your eyes for 8 minutes a day. They call it the Genius Switch. The Genius Switch uses this advanced clinical protocol to reconnect the two hemispheres of your brain. It is not a basic brainwave track, and it is not a meditation app. It is a precise physical restoration of the whole brain activation you possessed in childhood. The Genius Switch is not for everyone. It is exclusively for the chosen one who understands that God prepared the massive promise, but you must prepare the mind that will walk into it. It is for the cycle breaker who refuses to let a foggy mind rob them of their divine inheritance. Most people will accept their easily provoked state as normal and scroll past this solution. But you are still here because your spirit recognizes the exact physical tool required to hold your sacred silence. Medical professionals have stated this clinical-grade restoration would be an incredible value at $500. In-person neurofeedback sessions routinely cost $300 an hour. But Dr. Barone bypassed the medical middlemen to release this protocol directly to the public for $49. Today, on his official page, it is available for just $39. That includes 4 free bonuses featuring a guided visualization for your future, a practical grocery guide to eliminate brain fog, a classic manifestation text, and a printable habits guide to anchor your new reality. This is backed by an unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. You can listen to the sequence 80 times, and if it does not restore your clarity, every single dollar is returned without question. But I must warn you clearly. The link to access this clinical tool will not be there forever. Information that restores this level of dormant power often faces heavy opposition and can be removed without notice. The enemy wants nothing more than for you to postpone your healing until the door is permanently shut. Do not search for this on video platforms or music streaming services. Dr. Barone and his team studied the tracks, claiming to be the Genius Switch online, and they found absolutely no neural sync technology embedded in them. The authentic sequence is only available through his verified source. If your spirit resonates with this restoration, the link is waiting in the description below and in the pinned comment. You can read every detail on their official page before making your decision. Do not skip this next part. The tool I just described is a physical bridge, but what heaven does with your obedience next is entirely supernatural. The Genius Switch does not replace God, and it does not replace your spiritual obedience. It simply repairs the physical receiver so that when heaven pours out the strategy for your next season, it lands in a mind that is clear, synchronized, and completely unbothered by the noise of the enemy. When your physical receiver is clear and your mouth remains completely shut, the entire landscape of your spiritual battle changes instantly. The individuals who were sent to provoke you are beginning to realize that their usual tactics are entirely useless against your new frequency. You have starved their chaotic energy, and now they are retreating in absolute confusion. Heaven has watched your incredible discipline over these past few weeks, and the decree for your vindication has already been signed in the unseen realm. You do not need to lift a single finger to defend your name, because the Most High is stepping in to clear the path for you. Every second you remain in this stillness, listening to this frequency, more of your spiritual architecture is being restored. You are not just watching a video, you are holding the line for your destiny. The enemy wanted you to be distracted, exhausted, and desperately trying to explain yourself to people who simply do not matter. But your choice to stay anchored here is actively dismantling their traps one by one. The longer you sit in this divine quietness, the heavier your anointing becomes, making it completely impossible for the darkness to operate in your presence. I am telling you right now that the next few days are going to bring a massive shift in your physical reality. Because you chose the powerful weapon of silence, God is about to open doors of financial provision and unprecedented favor that no human hand can ever shut. The resources that were held up by the enemy are being released directly into your life, and the toxic connections that drained your spirit are being quietly removed by divine intervention. You will not have to cut them off with a loud argument or a messy confrontation. They will simply fade away as your frequency elevates far beyond their reach. And for the chosen one who felt something profound stir inside when the restoration of the mind was mentioned earlier, that door is still open in the description. It is a small physical step to take, but small steps taken from a clear and synchronized mind have changed entire seasons. The specific resource from Dr. Barone and his team is waiting in the description and the pinned comment for those whose spirit confirmed it. That is the only place I will mention it, because what remains in this message belongs entirely to the final sealing of your miracle. You must deeply understand that this victory goes far beyond your own personal peace. The silent restraint you have demonstrated is actively rewriting the future of your entire bloodline. The generational cycles of lack, confusion, and broken relationships that haunted your ancestors are officially stopping with you. You are the divine correction your family line has been waiting for. When you step into this next chapter with a restored mind and a quiet spirit, you become the unbreakable anchor that will secure the destiny of the generations coming after you. We are approaching the final decree, and you must hold your position right here. If you leave now, you walk out of the throne room right before your name is called for the ultimate blessing. The enemy is praying you get distracted in these final moments because he knows the upcoming seal will permanently lock his access out of your life. Lock your spirit to my voice, prepare your heart, and get ready to receive the absolute authority that heaven is handing to you right now. Place your hand on your heart right now. The profound silence you have maintained through the intense storm is about to be rewarded in ways you cannot yet fully comprehend. You have held the line, you have starved the enemy of the emotional reaction he desperately needed, and you have proven that you are truly ready to carry the heavy mantle of your calling. Heaven is surrounding you in this exact second to officially lift the immense burden of defense off your weary shoulders. You no longer have to explain your beautiful heart to a world that was never assigned to understand your spirit. The exhausting era of justifying your boundaries and apologizing for your divine light ends permanently today. Before we speak the final decree over your life, take a brief moment to like this video as a physical act of faith. Hit the subscribe button to stay closely connected to this divine frequency, because heaven is going to release more specific instructions for your next steps in the coming days. Go to the comments right now and type the phrase, "I release the need to be understood," to formally lock this spiritual agreement into the atmosphere. When you type those exact words, you are signing a divine contract that gives the angels full permission to handle all of your battles for you. Now breathe deeply and receive this holy decree over your life. I declare that every weapon formed from the whispers, lies, and provocations of the enemy is permanently dismantled right now. I speak a massive divine shield over your mind, your physical body, and your spiritual energy, completely blocking out the chaotic frequencies of those who try to drain you. The hidden traps set to make you stumble and speak out of turn are completely neutralized by the power of the Most High. You are officially released from the exhausting assignment of being the universal peacemaker and the emotional sponge for everyone else. Step fully into your authority as the watchman of your bloodline, anchored in an unshakable peace that terrifies the darkness. Now we come to the last door. The physical key to holding this sacred silence effortlessly, the one I named earlier and have not returned to since. It has not moved, and everything that was waiting behind it, the genius switch, is exactly what it was when I first described it. It is $39 to walk through, accompanied by a guarantee that costs you absolutely nothing to rely on, and 4 specific pieces of provision waiting on the other side to anchor your new reality. When the physical receiver is fully restored, remaining perfectly quiet is no longer a struggle. It simply becomes your natural state of absolute power. The path to it is located in the description below and in the comment pinned directly to this video. Both of these point to the exact same door, and neither one will move if you come back to look for it tomorrow. It is simply waiting for the chosen one who is ready to reclaim the cognitive capacity that was stolen from them. Take the step only if your spirit feels the undeniable alignment of this moment. The season of heavy isolation and exhausting spiritual warfare is officially closing its chapter in your life today. The enemy has lost his leverage, your spiritual architecture is entirely secure, and your massive breakthrough is actively manifesting in the quietness. Rest in the absolute certainty that God is fighting for you, and your victory is completely assured. Walk forward in your divine authority, keep your holy silence, and watch how heaven miraculously moves on your behalf.